Today we're going to take a look at a paper that has been formatted with APA format. For this assignment, students had to read 3 online articles and they had to do a critical analysis of the articles. You can download this entire paper that's provided above and follow along with me if you've printed this out. So let's go to the last page, which is the reference page. On the reference page, you can see the 3 articles along with their links. Notice that the articles are in alphabetical order. So Heffer, Cope, and Mordukakis are all in alphabetical order according to the author's last name. If there's no article, then you put it in alphabetical order by the title of the article. Notice that all 3 of the articles have hanging indentation, which means that the author's information hangs a little bit more to the left than the other articles' information. So be sure to put the author's names in alphabetical order. Be sure to use hanging indentation. Okay, so the first article by Heffer is from The Telegraph, which is an online newspaper. And here we see the acceptable way to cite an online newspaper. Author's last name, first initial, the date, and notice we have the year and the date that it was published, the title with only the first word capitalized, the title of the newspaper, the page where we received the information, and the link that it was retrieved from. Okay, so I'll just make a note here so that you can remember this is a newspaper article, online newspaper article. Let's add that. The second, by Cope, is from an online article titled, "Is Globalization the Same as Americanization?" So again, we've included the date and the link where we retrieved this article from. And the last article is from an online magazine, Forbes magazine. Okay, so your reference page should look something like this. Now, let's scroll up to the paper and identify key parts of the paper. So if you go ahead and flip to page 1, okay, I've deleted the student's information and the cover page, but remember that APA will need a cover page that has your name and information on it. Okay, if we take a look at the introduction, you'll see that the student has first mentioned the 3 articles that she's going to be using for this paper. We have the articles' titles along with the author's name and the year of the publications. Make sure that you add these to your paper. Okay, the first thing the student had to do for this assignment was to provide a general summary of the 3 articles. And here she has one paragraph for each article, starting with the first one, the good, the bad, and the ugly side of globalization, with the author's name and year. For her introductory paragraph about this summary, she's only listed the 3 articles that she's going to use. So here in the same paragraph, she has the second article, which is globalization the same thing as Americanization by Cope 2011? And then the third article is listed here. So please note she has the in-text citation with the author's last name, comma, and the year of publication. Okay, for the critical analysis and the summary, this is where I mentioned that she has one paragraph for each of the 3 articles. So again, she has the title along with the author's name and the year in parentheses. When she's quoting, she gives the page number. And since all of this paragraph is by the same author, the article that she cited, we can just use the page number where she took the quotes from. And here it's just some of the words, key words that were used in the article. Okay, if we look at the second, again, she's provided the title along with the author and the year. And whenever she refers to the author, she gives the year, because this author might have written many articles, so we want to make sure that we know which article she's talking about. And then the third article, again with the same format, but here she's used a quote. So if we look at the quote, not only does she have the author and the year, but she also includes the page number. So that's very key. Okay, be sure to include the page number for direct quotes. Okay, she delves more into her critical analysis in the next few paragraphs, and so here she goes back and forth between the different articles. And so that we can keep the article straight, she also gives the author's name and the year for each of the ones that she's referring to. Okay, here she's talking about the rhetorical appeals. So again, she goes back and forth between the articles. She uses quotes, and she will state the page number when she uses the quote. And we have many examples of this in this paragraph. So again, for direct quotations, make sure that you include the page numbers. Okay, so hopefully this gives you a good overview about how to use in-text citations, how to use quotes, and as you read through the article, you'll see how she has paraphrased and summarized, which were some of the other keys that we learned earlier in this course. So read through this article carefully, because for the final exam, you're going to be required to do something very similar along these lines.